Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Judge Jeanine isn't just heated over the Hunter Biden pardon. She gets absolutely livid when one of the members of the five goes off the rails and tries to justify this ridiculous pardon. And she is absolutely on fire here. Let's dive in.
Donald Trump has pardoned tax evaders. That's what you just said.
And weapons and firearm charges.
Okay, hold on. Here's the bottom line. There are pardons and there are pardons. Now, there are pardons that occur after someone has served jail time, has paid his debt to society, is remorseful, and then there are pardons for a dirtbag who has grabbed a garbage bag and collected cash from around the world, from the Ukrainians, the Russians, the Russians, the Ukrainians, and the Chinese, $1.5 billion that he was given the right to invest after his father sent him over to China. This is a different scenario. The corruption in the Biden family is so deep, it is so real, that Joe Biden knows he can't just pardon him for the gun charge, which he was found guilty of by a jury of his peers, or the tax charges, which he himself pled guilty to. So I don't know about selective prosecution, but he has to go back to January of 2014. Now, why is that, Richard? The reason for that is because there is so much corruption in the whole damn family that they have to go back to January. If you recall, when Donald Trump was president, he makes a simple phone call. It said, I'm hearing this stuff about Burisma and money being withheld unless a prosecutor is removed. And Joe admits to it. And as soon as Donald Trump makes a call about that, they impeach him. Why? Because he got too close to the reality of the corruption that was, let me finish, the corruption that was going on in the Biden crime family. That's why the pardon has to go back. And I guarantee you, his brother's going to get it, his sister's going to get it, everybody in the Biden crime family is going to get it. And I don't even want to hear an argument that this guy's not a liar. He is a liar from the get-go. Joe Biden has done nothing but enrich his family. And if I don't ever want to hear anyone call Donald Trump a liar again.
To be fair, there was a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney that investigated Hunter Biden, that investigated the Biden family, and the only person they charged was Hunter. So if there was all the things that you say were true, then they would have investigated. That's
because they allowed the statute of limitations
They would have investigated his brother. They would have investigated the daughter. They would have investigated all the people. They didn't do that.
Here, Richard.
But that didn't happen.
Don't play games with me.
I'm not playing games with you. I'm telling you what actually happened. You're living in revisionist history.
You do not have the Department of Justice and the power to indict. Who's going to indict?
He was a special counsel. He had special counsel authority.
Put a deal in front of a judge that was so corrupt.
He could have also subpoenaed Joe Biden's brother. He could have also subpoenaed Joe Biden's sister. He didn't do any of that.
You know what, Richard? You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about, but why wasn't there subpoenas issued?
There were subpoenas issued, and they didn't show up. So cut the crap.
All right. Okay, when I say Jeanine is getting heated here, oh boy, is she getting heated. And she's getting heated because this is right in her wheelhouse. She's called Judge Jeanine for a reason, so she knows the legal processes. And that's why she's harping so much on the Biden crime family. And when we say the Biden crime family, let's be honest here. This is how you can make money in American politics at the federal level. Okay? Because the Clintons kind of wrote the book on this because they did a bunch of these at the exact same time. So 1, be friends with some local bankers, buy up some land, and then sell it amongst yourselves to avoid tax problems. That's how you do it at the state level. That's what the Clintons did. Unfortunately, Arkansas still has a corruption problem, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. Then you can go on book tours, and then you can go on speaking tours, and you can make $100,000 per speech because, one of the best ways to launder money in America, give it to our corrupt school system. But again, let's talk about one of the other big ways to make money in America. As a politician, well, you tell your stockbrokers, hey, I can't have any direct contact with you, but, here's my little dossier of exactly what's going to happen in our upcoming committee meeting. Plan and invest accordingly. That's what Nancy Pelosi does, and former hero Dan Crenshaw now does. As a matter of fact, I think his stock portfolio is now better than Nancy Pelosi's. I mean, that hats off to your ability to suck money off the top of Wall Street. That's pretty impressive. But then, one of the easiest ways to do it, and one of the hardest ways, let's see. No, one of the easier ways to do it, but in order to get there, you have to go through a lot of hoops. You put your child in charge of not an account, oh no, an entire company. You get your child onto a board, particularly an oil exploratory board or an oil company board in, say, Ukraine. That's exactly what happened with Hunter Biden. In order to get him off of his addictions and other problems, Joe Biden looked around and said, oh, there's this coup that just happened in Ukraine, and we just found oil there. Hey, Hunter, why don't you call up one of these guys and we'll set you up as an executive? How about that? Oh, and by the way, for the big guy, and the big guy being me, Joe Biden, I get 10% of what you make. So just make sure you funnel it the right way back to me, okay, son? Great. And by the way, this isn't just a Democrat thing. The Romneys did this too. And so when you have a panelist like this little Richard fellow, who I've never seen before. He is not in your bless your heart kind of territory. This is a dude who's not just trying to move the goalposts. He is trying to obfuscate about the situation. He is trying to move Jeanine off her point. He is trying to talk about Trump when we're clearly talking about the Bidens. And ultimately, he is trying to just move away from this issue and deflect, and deny. The two things that Democrats are actually good at, because one of them definitely isn't governing. And so, since he's deflecting and denying from the reality that Joe Biden and his entire family have a literal corruption empire ever since at least 2014, and I'm talking about the beginning of 2014, because we started seeding that coup back in 2013 when we discovered oil in both the eastern, western, and Black Sea part of the Ukrainian borders. So, yeah. It's okay to say that the Biden family is full of corruption. It is okay to say that the Biden family is weird. Do not look up about the youngest Joe Biden's youngest daughter. Do not look up what she has had to say about her father. And by the way, if you do, it explains why he sniffs so many young girls' hair. So, yeah, if you want to be really disturbed, go do a little bit of research on that. I do recommend against it. Simply just know that I'm saying that Joe Biden's kind of a weird dude, and know that Jill Biden, his wife, is a power-hungry, maniacal maniac who is basically Hillary Clinton, without constantly looking at her hands as if they're stained with blood. She is not terrible enough to be Lady Macbeth, unlike Hillary Clinton herself. So, ultimately, we know that the Biden family is full of corruption. But on the five, when you're talking about legal precedent, when you're talking about legal processes, when you're talking about people who have actually committed crimes like Hunter Biden, and you think that you are going to move Judge Jeanine, someone who has been through the judicial system, someone who knows that process, and she's not just on TV because she's a pretty face with good hair and good makeup. She is on there because she is a firestorm and shouts down this poor, unfortunate soul who dared get in her way and dared try to deflect and deny from the reality that Hunter Biden funneled money to his father and to other members of the Biden family. We have the receipts, we have the bank invoices, we have the notes, we have the phone calls, we have email records, we have the evidence, okay? The problem is we can't trust the mainstream media or this little Richard fellow. I have no idea who this guy is. Although back in my day when I was actually watching Fox News at this time, Glenn Beck was on. So that actually tells you how crazy political I am. Even in high school, I was beyond invested in this stuff. But I do know this. Judge Jeanine is speaking the truth, and this poor unfortunate soul is trying to deflect from that. And oh boy, it did not end well for him. This is sort of a big problem with our mainstream media outlets as well. They will try to do the exact same things. They will deflect, they will deny, and they will instead try to bring up Trump, Russia to no avail. The American people aren't buying it anymore. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.